覚悟はいいか。
行くぜ決意転生。
Alright, what is going on, guys? SAFWY back again, coming at you with the top 10 mind list. And honestly, putting together this list was actually quite interesting to say the least. A lot of underdogs came up in this, in my opinion. And yeah, without further ado, let's just get right into it. First and foremost, for the honorable mentions, I gotta give it up to my boy Hikone. Hikone actually did quite change the game when he originally came out. Lunge first strong attack, 800 AoE distance second strong attack, and a standard full screen third strong attack. When this character came out, he pretty much initialized the meta when it came to strong attack kits. He has a Sprinter +2 and Long Stride, which honestly just gave him the edge over several characters and actually made him literally the fastest mind unit in the game for, I want to say, a good maybe like year and a half to 2 years, just because of the Long Stride Sprinter +2. It's actually really crazy to see that we can actually give our characters Long Stride and Sprinter +2 as well now, which in my opinion does edge out this Hikone a bit. If every character has Long Stride and Sprinter +2, this character kind of loses his edge quite a lot. Next on the list, we do have Fierce Battle Ichigo. I want to put him on the list just because he is the first character to get hit enemy chance 100%, which ended up being a selling point to a lot of these characters. He also was a banner full of transformation characters along with Aizen and Kenpachi. The fact that this character gets a 25% strong attack damage bonus when he is transformed after using a special move is actually pretty cool. Berserker 40%, decreased strong Soul Reaper damage taken 20%, devastation 60%. This character is pretty damn good. I mean, it is what it is. Next on the list, we do have Gremmy, and that is the final honorable mention. We actually have a lot of premium pool characters on this list, which is actually kind of insane, but I do believe that CFYOW hasn't really released something completely game breaking for Mind yet, as opposed to characters like Artbook Ichigo, Nini, Noel, as well as Aizen, for example. So we'll see exactly what comes down the pipeline. Strong attack recharge minus 12%, Berserker 20%, Havoc 20%, Sprinter +1, Debilitator +2 seconds, burn / lacerate on all of his attacks, revive mechanic on his special move, as well as the fact that this character has complete status immunity. He has an 18% magnification, and that's literally the only reason that he's on this list. That he's on the honorable mentions instead of actually being on the list. If he had a beam, I think that this character would have been much higher up, but yeah, no, he didn't get that. He got a 960 AoE second strong attack, the AoE dissonant circle, which is good. Third strong attack is a standard full screen, and overall just a very, very good character. Now, going into the list, number 10, we do have Koga. In my opinion, this character still has the best strong attack kit in the entire game, bar none. He has the 3000 length beam, the 960 AoE distance circular second strong attack, and a 1170 third strong attack AoE distant. This strong attack is really good. I hope that they give this kit out more often. As of right now, he is currently still the only character to be released with this strong attack kit, and this character did not get Berserker, which in my opinion kind of holds him back quite a lot nowadays, just because you kind of need to deal a lot more damage now than you ever did before. If you have this character max transcended, he's still really good. But at 105 with a full 105 at T15 with full stamina damage boost, he does get the job done. Havoc 20%, Frenzy, Sprinter +1, Debilitator +5 seconds, Paralysis / freeze on his second, third, and special move. Overall, just a really good character. Now, next on the list, sitting at number 9, Giriko. Giriko, honestly, the only issue that this character has is that he does not have Havoc 20%. That's the only thing that's wrong with this character, in my opinion. 2500 length beam, the 975 third strong attack. If he had Havoc, he'd have literally the 3k length beam and the 1170, but he didn't get Havoc. Feels bad, man. Berserker +40%, Frenzy, Enhancer +10 seconds, Barrier / boost on his second strong attack. His second strong attack is also a lunge, which is akin to Fierce Battle Ikaku, if you're familiar with that. And on top of that, his barriers do have multi-barrier +2. With the +50% bonus in killer effect in co-op quest, this character hits incredibly hard in content like Ultra IT, which is really good considering he does not have any status elements. He also has the increased heart droplet drop +30%, which is an increased droplet drop percentage, which is good. Devastation 60%, and overall just a really good character. For his innate skills, he does have freeze immunity and read or Rancor dodge, which could be pretty helpful in certain content. As of right now, it's literally the go-to character for one of the stages in the Hard Senkaimon Tower. Next on the list, we do have at number 8, Resurrected Mind Shinji. Now, Resurrected Mind Shinji Mind Shinji did not really need much to be good. All he needed was strong attack recharge, and CFYOW not only gave him strong attack recharge, but they also gave him berserker 20%. So he has a built-in berserker 45% as well as the strong attack recharge. He already had havoc 20%, frenzy, devastation 40%, which is really good. So overall, I mean, this character didn't really need much. Going into his kit, standard lunge for strong attack, beyond a 3000 length beam with more width than normal. This is actually more width than the standard beam that, than the standard first strong attack that 6th anniversary Aizen and Shunsui got. And the reason that that's important is because that first strong attack is, let me see here, 1020 divided by 870. The first strong attack from SAFWY Shunsui and 6th anniversary Aizen is 17% wider than normal 3000 length beams. So this one being wider is actually really good. So full screen third strong attack. Overall, just a really good character and one of the best resurrections in the game, just because this character was always good to begin with. Next on the list, sitting at number 7, and that is going to be Soichi. Soichi is a really good character just because she was actually given pretty much everything she needed except for havoc 20%. Strong attack recharge minus 12%, sprinter plus 1, guard break, frenzy plus 1, devastation 40%, debilitator plus 5 seconds to go along with poison / lacerate, berserker 20%, as well as damage inflicted at full stam 20%. Honestly, the fact that she got full stam damage boost really actually helped this character a lot, because that actually scales a lot better than berserker, and we'll go into that as we go later on into this list. Oh, you'll see. Next on the list, we do have Candice sitting at number 6. Really good character even to this day. She is slowly showing her age, but it's not really her fault because CFYOW is actively deciding to cuck her. Every single time that the enemies have an Arrancar affiliation in IT, for the most part, they also get paralysis immunity, causing Candice to not really be all that useful, even if you have her max transcended. Sprinter plus 2 weakened defense means that at T15 you can give her a double weakened defense, which could be incredibly helpful for hard guild quest. Havoc 20%, devastation 40%, debilitator plus 5 seconds. The berserker havoc 20% combo is really good, and actually helps a lot of these characters stay relevant in today's new environment of the meta, right? Considering that you can give almost every character full stamina damage boost, it's really good. Now keep in mind, when putting together this list, we are talking about 1 of 5 units with T15 at max. Most players will have try to go for a T15 character just to unlock that extra damage, or to get that long stride, or to get weakened defense, for example. So we'll see how that goes. Next on the list, we do have at number 5 Kisuke. Kisuke at 1 of 5 is still really good. At max transcended, he's literally one of the best farmers in the entire game. You literally will use him in inheritance zone, inheritance trial. If you're manualing, I don't really see a lot of people autoing with Kisuke, just because I feel like you kind of want to get those runs done and over with as fast as possible. But he's also really good in epic raids now that you can run 6 heart link slot potions plus 5 characters. Berserker plus 50%, devastation 40%. You're going to be running chappies, so I feel like it's negligible. But the fact that this character got bruiser 40% with the normal attack damage plus 20% as his soul trait is actually really good. He has flurry and he got guard break. Honestly, I feel like the flurry and guard break is literally what caused this character to be really excellent. I like ranged NAD characters too, because I feel like those characters with guard break ended up becoming some of the best characters in the game. Look at Masaki, Tokinata, Ginjo, Kisuke, right? Like, it's just really good NAD characters, especially if they're range. Now, next on the list, and this is where the controversy is going to take place, keep in mind that she did not lose by much, and that is Noelle. Noelle, I think that her real issue is that a lot of people really hate that first strong attack. Even though it is a 3000 length beam, which we're going to get into in a bit, it does have a 1 second activation time, which can be pretty bad, especially if you're running harder content in this game. When you're running content like IT, for example, if you are close to the enemy and the enemy lunges at you and you're using your first strong attack, you will miss. You will miss that first strong attack, which sucks. So you do have to use this at a distance in hope that the enemies don't dodge out of the way by the time you pop off your first strong attack. She has a 960 AoE second strong attack and a standard full screen third strong attack. She has a Soul Reaper and no affiliation killer, which is really good. Berserker plus 60% with a strong attack damage plus 20% as her soul trait means that this character actually hits incredibly hard with her frenzy plus 1. Devastation 60%, havoc 20%, nullify range resistance, really good in content like Senkaimon, as well as being able to use her in normal guild quest if you actually really need if you actually really need a new character, another character for melee soul reaper week. I'm talking about guild quest normal, relax, not everyone does hard in the guild quest, you freaking try hard. And on top of that, she's going to be good in extreme co-op. Sprinter +1 as well as strong attack recharge built into the character. I really like this character. When she came out, she was just nasty. Either way, her biggest fault honestly really just stems from her first strong attack. Now I do want to talk about that full stamina damage boost here when it comes to this Noelle in particular, because there is a lot to unpack here. Now first and foremost, assuming that she is T15 with full stamina damage boost plus 25%, let's do 1.25 full stam plus 1.8. Actually, let's just assume that we get a berserker of 60% from links. Say we're using a hybrid links and stuff like that. This 1.8 gets turned into 2.4, right? That's going to be, there we go. And you're going to see here that we get 300 for the damage. That's full stam, and then we're going to multiply this by 2, and that's going to be with the frenzy, right? So we got the full stam, we got the berserker, and then we also got the frenzy. So now going into next on the list, we actually have at number 3, Spirits Are Forever With You, Shinji. And here's why I want to do this, because this character actually has a mind attribute captain strong attack damage plus 20%, berserker 40%, damage inflicted at full stam plus 20%. Now he does have an inferior strong attack kit compared to Noelle in my opinion. He has a lunge first strong attack, the 750 by 750 second strong attack, and a standard full screen third strong attack. He has havoc 20%, the berserker 40%. So even though Noelle does have berserker 80%, this character has a lot going for him. Now, if we calculate in all of his stuff, we have the standard damage. We're going to get the berserker of, we want the 60%, so that's going to be times 2 damage, right? Because 100% berserker. Now we're going to actually scale up and do the frenzy. So that's going to be 400. And then we're going to now add the damage inflicted at full stam plus 45%. We did give Noelle the 25% full stamina damage boost from the T15, so let's just assume that we're going to do it for the Shinji as well. And now we're going to add the 1.2 damage 2 times. There's going to be a 20% damage from the mind attribute captain strong attack damage, which does affect him as well. And you'll see here that he actually deals more base damage than Noelle. He actually deals approximately 16% more base damage. Now one thing to note is that Noelle does have a beam for strong attack, which means that she has a lot more range to cover with her first. She also has a lot more range to cover with her second. But like I said, activation time, I think that people just ended up not really wanting to vote for her just because that first strong attack does hold her back quite a bit. Shinji does hit significantly harder in terms of damage numbers, but you have to take into account this first strong attack does have crazy range on it. And even though he has a 750 by 750, she has a 960 AoE distance. I do want to make note of this because I don't want people thinking, oh my god, Shinji's better than Noelle. Honestly, I feel like they're completely interchangeable. Personally, she did only lose the vote by 10%, and that means that it was a 55 to 45% vote. That is not that, in my opinion, definitively just crazy differences, and that's going to be important for the next character. But either way, he does have ailment reversal, which means that he is immune to status ailments that are affected to him by enemies. He also was given some immunities, so he can walk on puddles, and that's going to be fire and freeze immunity, which is actually pretty good. And going into his nat string is just a standard melee nat string. He does get poison arena if that really like does anything for you. And he also has an Arankar killer, which I believe that Noelle is more superior in terms of that. But considering that this character does have the berserker 40% weakening on all of his attacks, I feel like he does edge her out a bit more in content like Ultra IT, for example. And I do want to bring up Ultra IT quite often just because I feel like that's currently the hardest content in the game. Instant Kaimon, you kind of want to follow the rules, so you're not really going to use this Shinji where you'll use the Noelle. Extreme co-op slowly been falling off because Brave Battles is such a cesspool of garbage that because KLab loves to spread their toxicity. We'll see how it goes when they release the next Brave Battle character, which should be coming soon. But either way, we'll see how all that lines up. And yeah, I mean it is what it is. Like you're not going to use them in the same guild quest either, so I feel like Ultra IT is probably pretty much like the space where you're going to really use a lot of these characters. Next on the list is sitting at number 2, and he did not lose by much, and that is going to be Daddy Ichigo. Now, personally, him and first place are going to be pretty like completely interchangeable in my opinion. You're going to kind of want like both these characters on the team in my opinion. And I do want to make note of how close the vote was. There was 120 votes, right? Shunsui literally got 62 of the votes. Oh, excuse me, there was 122 votes. Shunsui literally got 62 of the votes, and Ichigo literally got 60 of the votes. So if that gives you any indication of like how close this vote was, it was not by much. If I had to give it a vote, honestly, I would have probably picked Shunsui, simply because you'd want to run 3 Shunsuis over 3 Daddy Ichigos. For example, in content like Ultra IT, you do want a booster just to protect your ass instead of in case, like, you know, the defense doesn't cover the types of damage that you're going to be getting in content like Ultra IT. But when it comes to it, Shunsui is just absolutely insane. He has the homing vortex second strong attack. But going into Daddy Ichigo, let's just talk about Daddy Ichigo for now. He has strong attack recharge minus 12%, Soul Reaper, and a Captain Killer. Berserker 60%, Bombardment, Bruiser 40%, damage 16%, damage reduction 16%, excuse me, Enhancer plus 10 seconds, Team Booster, Frenzy, Havoc 20%, Marauder, Sprinter plus 2. And for his innate skills, he does have Paralysis and Weaken Immunity, as well as Reach Soul Reaper dodges. Reach Soul Reaper dodges is going to be pretty good for like small and medium scrolls for certain quests. I forget which one. And the Marauder is going to be really useful for content like normal guild quests, as well as Senkaimon, Extreme Co-op, and yeah, I think that's about it. Marauder is also considered guard break, remember that, so that's also really good. Sprinter plus 2 is going to be awesome, so this character with full stem and long stride literally flies across the battlefield. He has a 3000 length beam for strong attack, a standard full screen third strong attack, and then a 960 AoE distance second strong attack, which I personally love because it is a team booster, but it is a good range second strong attack as well. And honestly, this character just is really smooth to play. Going into Shunsui, however, strong attack recharge minus 14%, Berserker 40%, Bruiser 20%, Debilitator plus 5 seconds, Devastation 40%, Frenzy plus 1. He did get guard break, which is really good, Havoc 20%, and Heart Link Slot Potions plus 5. This character without valuing the Heart Link Slot Potions, I still think him and Ichigo are very much on par with each other in terms of power level, but that Heart Link Slot Potions plus 5 skill honestly is going to add a lot of value to Shunsui. That did not affect my vote in terms of saying he is slightly better than Ichigo in my opinion. He's going to be actually quite fast in terms of clearing content because his second strong attack is a 16-second cooldown, homing vortex second strong attack, Soul Reaper killer, and then on top of that he has a beyond excuse me, he has a bigger width first strong attack, 3000 length beam than Ichigo's by roughly 16%, and then he also has an AoE distant charged third strong attack, which deals a lot of damage. Now a lot of people were arguing, oh, but you can't use that third strong attack to go through waves if you're not the host. The thing is, that doesn't matter. The fact that this character can charge his third strong attack, wait for the bosses to spawn, and one-shot them is really strong. He has weakening on all of his attacks, as well as having the Enervator skill. His special move, he doesn't have bombardment, but he does have weakening, as well as the chance to insta-kill the enemies, which can be really useful. He does have the Enervator as well as weaken immunity, and he does have Sprinter built into his kit. The Enervator is going to help immensely, especially if you're running 3 Shensuis, because that is literally a, let me see. Now, I like using this website just for probability's sake. So number of trials, let's just say that there's, let's say that there's 3 Shensuis and 1 Daddy Ichigo in the party, and then you have a 12% chance. Every single 5 seconds, there is a 31.85% chance that one particular enemy will end up getting weakened. The reason that this is important is because if you do that 31.85% chance and say that there's like 10 enemies, the chances of one of them getting weakened every 5 seconds is literally nearly 100%. If there's 5 enemies, it's an 85% chance that at least one of them will be hit. If there's 3 of them, it's a 68% chance. This is incredibly important, especially when you're taking into account the fact that every single 5 seconds you have a chance of actually proccing this on a boss. If this goes off on a boss, if this goes on in something like epic raids, this Shunsui is actually going to be really good. Now obviously number 0 on the list, and you already know I have to give it to my boy Kon. Now considering that this Kon is literally the same as the Heart Kon, who is still number 1 in the game for Heart, this character actually got Frenzy. If he wasn't already broken enough, they decided to give him Adrenaline 30%, Frenzy plus 1, and he has Long Stride and Sprinter plus 1. Honestly, giving this character just Sprinter plus 2 and like destroy all enemies plus 100% chance every 12 seconds is really nice. He also is a Stamina 320% soul trait when it comes, stamina 320 soul trait it's just really good. It's just really good. So 10 out of 10 IGN, you already know, and I mean, it is what it is. All right, bye.